Hello, my name is Mike. The date is February the 1st, 2016, and I am reading a letter that my friend Betty sent to Nintendo regarding the new addition of the Bayonetta character as a DLC. She asked me to be the voice of her letter, and I agreed. I will make at some later point a video myself giving my opinions about the points that she touches and the subject matter. Anyway, I'm gonna begin right now. It starts, Dear Nintendo, this letter is concerning the new DLCs for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and Nintendo 3DS. As a 20-year-old fan of Nintendo products and faithful customer, I am very disappointed at the direction the company and developing team have chosen for the Smash Bros. Franchise. So much so that I am repelled from making further Nintendo purchases. I will go straight to the point to not waste anybody's time. The character of Bayonetta is an immoral and straight-up repulsive choice to add to a game that is aimed primarily at children and young teenagers, to say the least. I am a 28-year-old adult female with a husband and children, and I am also not a casual gamer, but a regular and recurring customer of pretty much every video game, anime, film, and general pop and specifically Japanese culture franchises and products. I point this out in case the reader of this address assumes that my discontent and repulsion at the choice of adding the character of Bayonetta to Super Smash Bros. Franchise comes from an ignorant point of view, meaning they think because I am not acquainted or a fan of the character, I don't understand why it's okay for her to be added to a children's game. I have played both Bayonetta games that have been released so far as of January the 29th of the year 2016. The first I played on its original release on the PlayStation console. The second I played on the Wii U console, and as it has been an exclusive so far. I thoroughly enjoyed both games and am a huge fan of hack and slash games from Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden, God of War, Metal Gear Rising, Darksiders, Heavenly Sword, the recent reimagine Castlevania, and Bayonetta, to name but the essential in the genre. I own and have played all of them personally. Bayonetta is a character that since her debut in 2009 has quickly risen to the top of the most beloved video game characters of all time, due to the top quality and amazing concept, visuals, art direction, character design, level design, the attention to detail and heart that the developing team put into it, and without a doubt its crowning jewel being the gameplay mechanics, which time and the expansive amount of customization and combo numbers have made it claim the #1 spot in a genre that had been for nearly a decade growing staler and staler due to the lack in innovation. However, Bayonetta is also an M-rated game due to the violence, blood and gore, big amounts of strong language. Note, every word that is considered strong is not only said once, but pretty much comes to define the franchise's dialogue. In the list of franchises named previously, not one of them says as much vulgarity as Bayonetta, not even by half. Continue. And I emphasize lots and lots of sexually suggestive and explicit content of the game. The game is aimed at ages 17 and up. In the game, you will see partial nudity from Bayonetta showing partial breast exposition, big amounts of cleavage, buttocks, buttline, and displays of the pelvic area. Note the area around the female genitalia that, though not shown, comes about as close as they can get without showing her genitals. You will also see sexually heavy behaviors and conversations between all the characters that, in a very open manner and not in any way subtle, touch at sexual tensions in heterosexual, homosexual, big age gap fantasy, and interspecies sexual relations. The attacks and combo names are also loaded with sexual references, and the finishing moves not only display gory and cruelty-heavy ways of finishing off an enemy, but are also packed with sexuality, from the sounds enemies will make as they're being destroyed, which mimic the sounds real human beings make whilst engaged in sexual activities, to the sounds the female protagonist Bayonetta will make as she destroys an enemy, which include sexual teasing, sexual one-liners, moans, gasps, and sex-related sounds. Also, sexual body language and many displays of partial nudity. And without forgetting about the constant exposition of attacks and finishing moves that display cruel ways of finishing enemies, as well as introducing us to an array of torture machines that are based off of sex toys.